I think finding somebody that's willing to stick to a single person and just commit to them and focus on building a better life together, that shit is so rare nowadays. It's kind of like everyone in dating treats other people as if they're disposable, just using them for maybe getting some money or maybe getting sex. But to me, that's just not really what it's about. I mean, obviously, if both of y'all mutually want that from each other, then by all means, communicate that, be straightforward, and go for it, man. But I see so many times nowadays people are just lying to other people, manipulating, stringing people on, leading people on, just manipulating just for selfish reasons, just to get what you want out of that person. And really, that's not cool to me, man. I think it would be a lot better. And karma's a real thing too. I think if you out here just playing games with people, that shit is gonna come back and bite you in the ass, man. You're not gonna just be out here playing with people's hearts and emotions and be on that bullshit forever and just live a great life. That's just my personal opinion. I've seen too many dudes that just like to fuck around and be whores and shit like that, end up 40 and 50 and lonely and alone. So I don't know. Personally, I'm just not really a big fan of just spending your whole life fucking around and hoeing around and never trying to find somebody. That's just what I want, bro. I want to definitely find somebody one day I can commit to and we can just build a life together type shit. What about you?
I've always been like a relationship type person, but to elaborate on like the whole what was it called? Not being a hoe. If you're actively out being a hoe, and like, I mean, I get it. Dudes are young. Same, I guess, for women. Women, but I'm gonna talk more for a dude's perspective. If you're out just kind of hoeing, and you're just say you're doing a girl, I don't know, once a week, and you have like 100 bodies. By the time you're older, bro, you're not gonna be able to like get hard for your like significant other. So like back to you was saying like you spend your youth just kind of just going kind of running through girls and shit, and then eventually when you hit like your 30s and 40s and you kind of like slow down and want to be with someone, you're not gonna have that same drive because you done shared all your energy out through your course of your life. I don't know the terminology of it. I've just experienced it with other dudes who are older, and they kind of shared their story about it. Basically, one dude, when I was in the military, he used to be my barber, and he's a pastor now. He's a great dude. The only thing that he used to do was just basically just, I don't know, hump everything he sees. And he's about close to 40 or 50. And he was telling me as he got older and he kind of got married, he can't get sexually aroused anymore. Like he only gets aroused by being with a new girl every single time, which sucks because it's like he really likes the girl that he's with and there's no problems about that. But if you can't get sexually aroused by your own partner, it's just like, why are you? Not saying that's the only reason why you should be in a relationship, but like it is a good. Your attraction to someone is still a huge key. I mean, obviously you want the personality too, but that should follow with the look because you're not actively out here just dating fat girls. You're really out here trying to find someone you think is attractive. It doesn't have to be a 10. It could be like a 7. Between 7 and 10. I don't believe in sixes. That and just having a good moral compass to them as well. But if you're just out here just doing it with a bunch of girls, I promise you, when you're older, bro, you're probably gonna regret it because you're not gonna be able to settle down and be with someone. The same for women too. There's women out there like they've been porn stars their entire life, and they get older, and what? Look at it now. They can't really be with no one no more because they're just so ran through, and I don't think they have the emotion to get through all that. Hold on, I'm gonna close that door real quick.
For sure. He's just getting up to go close the door real quick. But yeah, I definitely just to piggyback off of what he was saying, I definitely agree with that too. And I've also experienced once in my life that there was a chick I was interested in dealing with, but she found out that I wasn't a virgin. And to her, she curved me off of just the fact that I wasn't a virgin no, real talk though. Because like because real talk, because this girl was looking at it like I have the sexual discipline to save myself until marriage, so I want a man that's doing the same thing. But you got a lot of dudes out here that be like, yeah, I can fuck around and still give me a chick that has a low body count. I'm gonna keep it so real, bro. A lot of the women that have the self discipline to maintain that sexual discipline and that low body count, they want a man that operates the same way. You're not finna be some average dude out here just fucking a bunch of hoes and then you wanna find a chick to commit to that has a low body count. That's just not realistic, bro. Unless you the exception. Obviously, like if you a rich dude, you can do whatever the hell you want to and somebody gonna be down with that shit, bro. But for the average person, like, I don't know. A lot of times people look for standards in others that they can't even maintain themselves. That's facts. You're not gonna see a whole like you're not gonna see me or him with a fat ass woman because both of us take our fitness very seriously. I'm keep it 100 too. When I start getting older, um, I'm not against a chick struggling financially, but just for myself personally, I don't want a chick that's working like at McDonald's or something at the age of 24, 25. Because to me, I don't know, bro. Because I feel like you should be, you should have accomplished more for yourself. Be a bit more established. I know you can fall on hard times and bad things can happen, but like just for my personal sake, man, I think I want a woman who's established. She can stand on her own 2 feet, be able to just take care of herself financially. She ain't got to be fucking balling, bro, but I can maintain that standard for myself. I have my own car, my own place to live. I'm not stressing about bills and shit. I don't want to deal with a chick that can't even meet the same standard as me. That's just me personally. Any thoughts on that?
So I agree. There is nothing to disagree with what you said there. The biggest thing when I guess looking for a partner is someone who can reflect you because say, I don't know, people's relationships with their parents. The only family members I'm cool with is just my mom and dad. I don't talk to no one else in my family. But in saying that, the people I bring around them means that I really like these people. I'm not one of those dudes that just like talks highly about everyone. I mean, I talk to people and I have a lot of friends, but like they're more acquaintances. It's not friends I talk to every day. Like close friends is like my bro here and probably one or two other dude. It's not a crazy amount of people. But those people know my circle. Beyond that, if we're not that cool, I'm not gonna bring you into that circle. But in saying that, if you get a girl into your life, you really like her, you got to really make sure that she's on some stuff. She got to be doing something or at least have the drive to do something. You don't have to be a freaking, a baller. I just want you to have some type of real human function and being able to be proficient in whatever you do, and hopefully whatever you're proficient in kind of helps bounce the energy of what I'm doing. Because if you have two lifestyles and y'all don't correlate, then why are you with that person? Just because she looks good, that doesn't mean shit. Looks are important, like I said, but there's always more to it. There's more to the whole complex of being in a relationship. Most people try to define it with a few words, and in my head, it's like, I guess you can generalize it, but everyone's relationship is different and everyone has their own standards and guidelines. But if you want to generalize it, you want to be with someone who can, one, bounce off of your energy. You want always good energy. I mean, obviously relationships aren't rainbows and sunshines. It's about a work in progress. It's the same with the stuff you have with your friends or true friends. You're going to be with some real friends that are going to push you and motivate you to want to do more with your life, the same that you want with your partner. You want her to kind of motivate you, push you through your life, give you more of a sense of purpose, but viewing it as a different aspect. I guess with me and my girl, you play more mother and father roles. Not saying that I have a kid and that, nor that I really want one anytime soon. We'll see what later in life. But in my house, I'm the father figure. I'm going to walk around. This is my house. I'm going to be the dad. But in a sense, she has to provide and be the mother as well. You just got to learn how to play each other's roles, and whatever relationship you in, you kind of just establish that, talk about it. The biggest thing is communication. Most people just be letting their feelings get pent up and say their girls did something wrong, and she may not know that. She just probably just doing whatever, and most dudes get all insecure and be like, and wait for their feelings to blow up and then attack them about it. Then how is that conversation going to look? One person's really angry and one person's super confused. You're not on the same level of the conversation. Versus saying, you approach her and be like, hey, I don't like X, Y, and Z that you did. wait for her to respond. If she doesn't give a fuck about it, then why are you in that relationship, you know? The things you say and the things you kind of act upon towards your significant other, if she doesn't reciprocate that, then there's no reason to be with that person. Because if she really liked you, she will fix it then and there. She'll sit there and try to understand what you're talking about, vice versa. You should try to understand what they're talking about and kind of just proceed through that. If y'all can't, keep moving on, man. Like, people try to settle down so easily, and I used to be a victim of that. But now it's just like, man, even in the beginning, I asked, like, man, what do you want out of this? Like, do you really want to do something with each other, or are you just here to give me a head? Like, I don't, but like, you know, it's opportunity. It's just how you can leverage that opportunity.
Hey, I wish I had one of them soundboards where I could like press the horn sound effect, your ass is going crazy, bro.
Did you get one of them, like, have you seen Kai Cenat? He has this big board, and like, he's
Yeah.
talking, goes,
Yup,
like Undertaker
yup,
music. Or
yup.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to drop the horn sound effect for you right now because you was spitting that real shit, bro. So I do want to ask one question about, okay, you was talking about being very clear with what you want in a relationship, and if y'all ain't on the same page, you know, walk away. So what do you think about, you know, people that kind of just stick around in relationships because they believe that like I want to make this work, even though you know you should have some self-respect, and if the individual's values don't align with yours, you should walk away. But some people don't walk away. Some people are like, I'm fixated on this person and I'm going to make this work. What do you think about that?
So this is from experience. My first ex was like a high school sweetheart. Uh, After realizing, so we broke up one time. Everyone that I was with in my like friend and family wise, they didn't like her, but I didn't see it. Probably because it was like my first real love. Uh, but then then we broke up for a little bit, then got back together. I think for a total of a little over 3 years we've been together. The second time around when I got with her, I started to slowly see what everyone was talking about just because I took a second approach to it. But it kind of goes back to what you were saying, self-respect. If there's something in your life that's kind of just bringing you down, just because, and this is where life gets tricky, because this is where emotions start coming into play. Because you're with someone, you probably feel bad to want to leave them, or you just say you love them too much. But in reality, when I look back at it on like most of my exes, the only thing I think I really liked was just the sex. Like, I sit there and try to think of a good time, but like every time, like say we go on vacation, we argue about something, or you know, the negatives would have outweighed whatever we were doing. Even saying we would go out to Florida, Miami, you know, we'll do things, but when I look back at it, it's just all I think I ever liked was the sex. So if you're ever in that, I guess, circumstance where you're with someone but you know it's not good for you, you have to just not use your feelings into play there and be a little bit selfish and give yourself some self-respect and like walk away, because those type of hard things, if you kind of, and not saying you're giving up, you're kind of just, I mean, I don't know how you would say that. I mean, you are giving up, but you're giving up to go do your own thing so you can have a better mental state. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not giving up, you're just replacing your environment, you know? Yeah, it's a lot to do with your self-respect. Man, don't even worry about the feelings, because if you're feeling horrible now, why would you drag that out for your entire life? For instance, I have one homeboy, no shade to him. He's a cool dude. I just don't really like his girl. She, man, controls him. Like, he can't go out or do anything if she is pissed off. And it's just like, bro, and he's in his 30s, dude. So it's like, you're that old and you're still getting controlled, and they've been together for more than like 15 years. And it's like, I get it. Y'all been together a long time. But even I say this to my girl. I was like, I don't even care if we together for 2 years to like 20 years. If you're doing something that's making my life unhappy, why would I be with you? And regardless if it's been 10 years, so what? I've done a lot of things on my own for like 10 years, so I can go and bounce back and do my own thing again. It may suck, you know, to go and revamp your life, but like, You're revamping it to be better. If you're not revamping it to be better, then continue staying in that depressive life with that significant other that doesn't really value your words or opinions like that, you know? So
Yeah, I agree with damn near everything you just said, man. And I want to touch on two specific points. Um, Y'all have heard me say on this channel a million times, logic over emotion. One of the hardest things that I think everyone has to master in his lifetime is being able to walk away from a person. Because obviously, walking away from something when you're emotionally invested into it is one of the most difficult things you can do because your emotions say, I like this person, I care about them, I want this to work out. But logically speaking, if you lay the facts down on the table and you look at the circumstance and say, hey, this is not really the best thing for me. Yeah, I know I love her, I care about her, but maybe she's draining me financially. Maybe I don't feel at peace when I'm around her. Maybe we're constantly arguing, maybe whatever the circumstance may be. From a logical standpoint, if you know it makes more sense for you to leave, but you're choosing to stay just because you're emotionally attached, that's gonna fuck you over in the long run, man. So I definitely think it's unfortunate, but it's a skill that everyone should definitely learn at some point in their life is being able to walk away from somebody that isn't really aligning with, where you want to go in life and where you currently are possibly. But he was talking about self-respect too. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something.
yeah, I can elaborate on your other thing you was talking about.
Okay, word.
So, with going back to us talking about like the whole walking away situation, it could be a significant other, it could be your mother, it could be your father, you know, it could be people that are tied to your life. And not saying like it's a, I mean, if it is affecting you negatively, it's kind of like, well, just because it's your mom doesn't mean that you have to stick around for that. You know, we're gonna use an example. So say like you're living with your mom and you really want to go out and just leave them, like leave your mom, go to a different city, just start doing your own thing, which in my head, I would encourage, especially if I was, you know, your parent and I had a kid that like wanted to go pursue their own life, do it. I mean, don't be in my house somewhere. That's more money I could save, you know? But beyond that, say that I'm the kid and my mom is just like, she's having a lot of just random life problems, but they're her life problems, not like health wise, but just more like, say, financial or something with another significant other, like a stepdad or whatever her boyfriend is or whatever. Most people, and I get it, like as a kid, you want to protect like your family members and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't understand too is like the life that they've been living was way before you was around. So like they got to live their life, and if they're in their 40s and plus and they still haven't figured it out, I'm sorry, but your parent isn't a true parent. Because if they were, they would be pushing you not to do what they've been doing their entire life and tell you to probably give you the boot so that you can go figure it out. If they're not doing that, then I'm not gonna lie, your parents are probably like they're not real, bro. You may have to step back and really look at it from the way that I'm kind of saying it versus with your feelings. Just because it's your parent, your blood doesn't mean anything. Like I said, I don't talk to really anyone in my family. I probably talk to like 3 people in total that are like part of my bloodline. Beyond that, I have more close homies than I do family members now, you know? But that's just because the other family members, and not saying they're bad people, they just do different things. They're just on different timings. It's like if they're not really correlating to what I'm doing, then and they're not impacting me in a positive way, then why would I stick around for that?
No, I definitely think also a lot of people, it's not a bad thing to be concerned with the opinion of your parents, but sometimes you gotta just realize, like he was saying, it's your life, not theirs. They have their opportunity to live their life. They may not be in the position that they want to end up in, and sometimes that kind of I'm not where I want to be can be negatively projected onto you. So we had a homeboy. We were in the military. This dude, I'm not even gonna name his name out of respect to him. I don't want to call him out like that. But this one individual was so terrified of being kicked out of the military, not because he was gonna be broke, not because he was gonna be homeless or anything like that. He was so terrified because he was like, my dad is never gonna talk to me again. My dad is gonna hate me and disown me. I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. Everybody makes mistakes in life. Everybody. I mean, both of us, we was in the same predicament. We got out the military, yeah. My parents were mad at me. His parents were mad at him. But at the end of the day, bro, like, we all have to live our life, make our mistakes, sometimes, unfortunately, learn the hard way. But if you constantly concerned with your parents, like, I'm gonna hate you and never talk to you again, man, fuck them, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100 because everybody, when you choose to live your life, all that really matters is what makes you happy. What's the best path for you to walk down? If you don't like the path that I'm currently walking down, hey, it's tough, but this is who I am. A lot of people allow their parents to control a lot of the decisions they make in their life too. I've seen that before. For me, I was a prime example. I knew after high school I didn't want to go to college. I didn't care about college, but my parents, they really wanted me to go to college. Everybody else was trying to, oh, what school are you going to? What classes you enrolled in? But even though I knew I didn't want to do that shit, I said, fuck it. And I ended up going anyway just to make everybody else happy. Nah, bro, that's not the way to be living life. Anybody that really truly cares about you, friends, family, parents, whatever it may be, they should genuinely just want you to succeed in whatever you want to do, whatever you think is the best path for you, man. Because I know nowadays, when I talk to my mom, even though she was upset when I first got kicked out the military, now she's like, you know what? That wasn't a good fit for you. I'm happy you're out the military. I'm happy you're thriving and you're doing better now than you were while you were in. At the time, I was upset with you for, doing some stupid shit to get kicked out, but now I'm happy you're in a better place. I think that's a real fucking parent right there versus, the dude that we used to know in the military, his dad would disown him for getting kicked out the military. That's just not a good parent in my opinion. But, it's to each their own.
To elaborate a little on, I guess, doing stuff for your parents. If you're going through your life and doing stuff for other people, and I guess you could kind of break that up into two parts. You're either getting told to do something because you don't know your path, and you like your mom is just like, hey, why don't you just do this since you got nothing else going on, Then you're doing it, you ended up don't liking it because you're just confused on life. You shouldn't be living like that. If you're gonna make, especially like school isn't cheap. That's the crazy thing. Y'all people be out here going to college, and not saying that I'm not doing schooling. I'm doing full-time school right now, but I'm doing it on my own accord, which is also it's free too. So, my viewpoint is a little bit different because I had to work my way to get my benefits to have free school, versus a lot of kids nowadays. They just go to school. They don't know what they're gonna even do. You go to school for business because your mom just told you to go to school. Man, if you're going to school for business, you better stop. You better stop right now. You ain't getting nothing with that degree. Nothing. Yeah, back to if you're doing stuff because you're getting told to do it and you're not doing it on your own accord, you're not really living life properly because, one, it's your life. You should learn how to make those real life decisions. And if you're out here just because you feel guilty because your parents want you to do it, then I promise you 9 out of 10, you're not going to like it. It's like why people probably stop going to church later in life. You were forced to go your entire childhood. So once you got that first taste of freedom, you never want to touch it again. But most people just don't. Most people just like have a guilty trip of wanting to do something because they feel like it'll disappoint other people, even though that they don't want to do it. It's like, why would you put your feelings aside versus what they're feeling? It's not their life, it's your life. You need to take order and action and figure out what you really want to do. Now, if you're just sitting around and not doing nothing, I guess it's your parents are just kind of probably view you as a bum and probably just be like, hey man, can you just do this, please? So I guess there is differences to it. I guess all in all, people just need to really figure it out. And not saying that I've had it all figured out right away. I mean, I got kicked out. I've been to jail. Um, but in that time frame, I guess learning how life really is, and then versus now, I mean, I had to take order. Most people, I feel like if they were going through what I went through, they probably would have killed themselves. Matter of fact, even saying going to the military, you talk to any other people our age, they would probably say, nah, bro, I'd probably kill myself if I joined. Just because they couldn't handle the amount of pressure of everything kind of changing their life. And a lot of people, they just don't have that mental capacity. And if you fall victim to that, you need to learn how to strengthen your mentality. Because if you have a really, really weak mental state, you 9 times out of 10, bro, you really can't do nothing on your own. You can't make decisions on your own. You probably need to keep asking your parents what to do. Not saying that I don't go to my parents time to time for certain advices, because obviously they're older. I would love to hear what they're talking about, because they're also very well off in their own sense. And now, since I got my head out my ass and got my life together, now when I get those real life lessons from my parents, it actually makes sense, because now now I know how to correlate that through what I'm going through. Obviously, everyone has their own opinions, and if your parent is gonna disown you, that's another reason why you shouldn't be around. They have their own life going on, and if they feel like they're gonna disown you because they don't like what you got going on, then scrap that. Go do your own thing. It's okay to do things by yourself. I don't know why everyone's so fixated on wanting to have everyone around while they're doing their own thing. That's like, you have your own life. If once you kind of have your life starting to come together, the people that are going to be around are going to be around, because you're surrounding yourself by people like you. So, but if in that sense where there's no one around you, it's because you haven't got there yet. It does suck being alone sometimes, but like in the end, you got to do what you need to do. You got to figure out yourself, go somewhere different, and be selfish for a bit. Figure your life out, and once you got that together, then start building those relationships. See how that implements into your life, and kind of start letting it revolve around you instead of revolving around them.
Hold on. That's so facts, bro. Facts. You know what? It's time for me to invest some of this YouTube money I've been making and buy me a soundboard, bro. Because a lot of y'all been asking for better podcasts and better equipment, better quality, all that stuff. I got more mics coming soon. But yeah, man, if I had that soundboard, burn, that's facts. Let me tell you one thing about one thing that I've experienced in my life, man. The more I stepped into myself and started living my life in the way that I wanted to, I wasn't even really searching for the right people. They kind of just started appearing. Like, I joined the military trying to figure myself out, get away from home and start a new life. That's where I met this dude at. I did not go into the military looking to find new friends or looking. Man, when I went into the military, I told myself I'm here to get my 4 years done, serve my time, get my benefits, not talk to nobody. But I met this dude ever since day one. We've been locked in, bro. This my homie right here. And we've been through so much shit together. But even now, as a civilian, I'm still on the same shit, working, trying to pursue my purpose. And I go to the gym. I met the Bayou City boys. I met the homies Zach, Nick. I met Star, all of them. Man, I used to go to the gym, not talk to anybody, not socialize, just go there, lift some crazy ass weight. And when I was repping 545 on squat, he walked over to me and he was like, yo, that's a crazy fucking set, bro. If he had never approached me and started a conversation, I promise you I would never talk to them, even to this day. I just genuinely think that when you working on your purpose and, putting your head down and you locked in, the individuals that are supposed to be in your life are going to find their way to you. That could be homies, that could be girlfriends, whatever it may be. I'm on the same path now where when it comes to women, I also believe I'm not really interested in going out and chasing women anymore. I kind of just do what I do, and I feel like eventually the right woman's going to be placed in my path, and then it'll happen naturally. What you think about that?
Bro, if you want women to get you, bro, all you gotta do is be on your shit. Like, I don't be doing anything, and then they just be coming around. Not saying that I don't put my girl first, she's always first, but it's still not, it's still a realistic thing where, like, I mean, I'll have conversations that, like, so back to he was talking about, like, meeting certain other people. Like, God's gonna put people in your life, or you can use it as a karma instance. There's also a thing of good karma. If you're just on top of your shit and you're grinding. You found the routine, you found the formula you just need to do, and keep doing it every single day until you finally get there. Uh, Good things are gonna come around. You've got good energy, good things are gonna come around. If you have bad energy and perceive the world as so negative, not saying there isn't negative things to the world, but like you can't just be so fixated on the negative. You gotta start looking on things on the good term. And saying how he met people at the gym, same as mine. I met the head trainers at mine. They're all cool dudes who got their own businesses and stuff, you know. Go lift with them. Uh, and just being around other successful people just draws in, I don't know, it's like your aura, if you want to use it in a millennial term, an aura. If you have some fire ass aura walking around, when you walk in, like, people just naturally want to attract to you. Not saying that, like, I guess like the same for like women. Most of the girls I've ever dated, they kind of just came into my life. Not saying that like I didn't actively after try to talk to them after, but for me, I always found it kind of crazy that like if someone is willing enough to come and walk up to me, because I don't look approachable. I mean, I'm not saying I look scary, but like I can care less of having a conversation with someone. But just because I've had so many conversations through my entire life that I know a lot of people are just really stupid. So I try to avoid talking to people as much as possible. But when I have those conversations where I sit down and talk to someone and it's like a real conversation, I'm sitting there, I'm all like, damn, you know, that kind of stuck in my head. I'm actually going to remember you because you didn't talk like a retard. You talk like a regular person. I'm not saying you have to sound sophisticated or whatever. It's just, you know what current life things are going on, and you can kind of reciprocate that to one another. Uh, and it's the same for, like, I guess with women. Like, some girls could just be around and hear that. And sometimes they just walk up to you after having those conversations, be like, hey, you know, I like what you're all talking about, this, and this. Um, and I wouldn't say it's hard to get women. It's just, if you look like you're respectful and have a good demeanor and presence, I promise you that woman that you're currently looking for will come to you. Most like love and all that doesn't just come just because you're actively trying to pursue it. That's a more of like, in my opinion, a natural deal. I feel like that one day, the right time, you're gonna see someone, you're gonna catch a vibe, and then you just talk, you know, and after that, you just keep talking. Sometimes that talking, you find out they're weird, and you have to drop them and continue on what you're doing. It sucks because you say that for the dudes who really like being in relationships, it sucks, but that's the only way you could figure it out, man. Like, you going out to clubs, you're not gonna find them. I mean, yeah, like you could probably find some online, but like Instagram wise, but like even then, it's kind of like iffy because just how things are nowadays. But if you act like the 1% dudes, then that just increases your chances. The more things you're currently doing with your life that's making you better, I feel like God, in a sense, will give you that one woman just when the time is right. And most people just don't know when that time is right, you know? Or maybe you never ever get a girl. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I wanted to touch back on that aura thing you was talking about. I genuinely 100% believe aura is a real thing. Because I've been told the same thing as you my entire life. People look at me and they're like, oh, you're intimidating. You don't look approachable. You look angry. Man, I had this one dude in the gym, grown ass man. He looked at me and he said, man, you look intimidating. Man, get the hell out of my face with that goofy ass shit. You good, bro? But I'm like, bro, you a grown ass man sitting here telling me I look intimidating. Remember that one
That's
time?
so weird.
It's weird, bro. And then remember that one time, I think it was maybe like, it was the Woodlands. We was walking around. There was this dude. He seen me coming, looked across the street and crossed the other side. I'm like, there's no way, bro. There's no way in hell. These dudes really sit here and look at me and go out of their way to avoid me or not want to deal with me. I mean, I guess I get it because, like, I'm a big buff black dude with tattoos and dreads and shit. But, like, damn, bro, do I really look that scary? I genuinely think aura is a real thing, too, though, man, because, like, not even trying to self glaze or nothing, but the way I walk around and I carry myself, the way I speak to people. I've been told before, this dude approached me in the gym, a group of guys actually. They was all like, man, you gotta do like TikTok or YouTube or something because you just look like you're supposed to be somebody. That was a crazy fucking compliment. I can't even cap, bro. But I told them, I said, nah, bro, I'm just a small little YouTuber. I ain't even got 5K subs yet type shit. But they subbed to my channel. I see their comments on the comment section all the time, man. I appreciate y'all supporting me. But I think the aura thing also comes when it comes to dealing with women, too. Not just talking to other people, but specifically in dating. I mean, there have been times where I may have looked at a chick and been physically attracted to her, but then based on how she carries herself or the way she speaks, the way she presents herself, I'm just like, yeah, something about that is just, I'm not getting the right kind of energy. And I've had women say the same thing to me. You know, they may look at me and just, for some reason, they feel inclined to come over and speak or say something. I genuinely think the way you carry yourself, present yourself, your physical appearance, your body, maybe the way you dress, all these different things can play into, you know, somebody feeling like it's the right kind of vibe and maybe y'all could connect. It could be women, it could be friendships, could be whatever it may be. But not everybody's meant to be together, whether we talking about girls, whether we talking about friendships. And the last thing I'd want you to do is try to force something that isn't supposed to be happening. I can't tell you how many people I've seen trying to force a relationship because, oh, she's so bad, oh, her ass is so fat, oh, this, oh, that. No, bro. You can tell. I genuinely believe you know if you're meant to be dealing with somebody. You know, that's why I see a whole lot of people that they be messing around with women that they know they would never marry. And to me, that's kind of disrespectful to her and yourself, because why are you wasting both of y'all's times, man? And that same time could be occupied by you possibly being given the right person, but you can't deal with that person because you're wasting your time with some shit that's not meant for you, man. I don't think anybody should force any kind of relationship in this lifetime. Just like we've been saying, just live your life, do what you got to do, and I promise you, the people that are meant to be with you are going to end up with you eventually. That's just how it is, man. You know what? I got something I want to elaborate on. Yo, so a lot of people try to flex when they go out in public with maybe nice cars, whatever. We're downtown right now. There's a whole lot of nice cars, whole lot of people that have money. But one of the biggest flexes, in my opinion, is looking the way we do. Being physically fit, having a great physique, being aesthetic, whatever it may be. This is one of those things, when it comes to fitness, you can't cheat this. You can go out there and finance a car that you can't really afford. You can go out there and finance a house you can't really afford. You can rent this, rent that. You know, you can put on the fake when it comes to the other shit. But when it comes to being in a body that is fit and it looks good, you can't cheat that. You can't get the surgery to look naturally muscular. You feel me? When you walk into places, it is a testament to how disciplined and how hardworking you are. And when you walk around, people notice this shit, bro. I literally was in the grocery store earlier today. I had 3 people speak to me about just my physique. I had this one lady, she said, "You don't really have muscles, those are fake muscles." I'm like, okay, shawty. I had another dude, he was all like, "Man, what school do you play for?" I'm assuming he meant football. I had somebody else, she was walking down the aisle, she looked at me, then looked away, and then did a double take, and she was like, "Damn, you got some arms on you." People notice this shit, bro. Anybody that tries to sit here and say working out or being in great shape is not a big deal, they're lying. People notice this shit. And if you put the work in for your fitness, your diet, strength training, physique training, whatever you're doing, it pays off and it's absolutely worth it. And it's always gonna be a net benefit to your life. You don't wanna be one of these fat motherfuckers walking around 40 already unable to move properly. When I'm 40, I wanna still be able to move well, stretch, have good mobility, go outside and play football with my kid if I want to. I saw this one statistic that said, most people, like 90% of people, will never sprint again after age 30. That's absolutely insane to me. That just means that a lot of people just don't even care to move around, period. And it shows. That's why 50%, maybe more of America is just morbidly obese. Morbidly obese is insane. We're not talking about, you a little chunky, obese. We talking about morbidly obese. That means you fat as fuck, bro. What's my slogan on this channel? I'm gonna put this shit on a t-shirt. Put the damn donuts down and stop being a fat fucking bitch, bro. You know what? I'm not finna go too crazy, but
I got it.
I swear, man.
Fucking fat fucks. Yeah, kind of elaborate on looking fit, kind of broad that scope out a little more. And also going back, I guess, to having your aura and just having certain things attracted to you. If you look physically fit, if you're well spoken, you don't have to be crazy dressed, but you just look presentable, you start attracting certain things. And once you kind of learn that you can attract certain things, your perspective on things also change versus why we probably sound like we're assholes. Because most of the time I get told that I'm an asshole, but it's not so much like I'm going out and deliberately talking shit to people. It's people, and like I said, I don't like talking to people. Like, if you want to speak to me, I'm going to speak to you, but you better be ready because if you say some stupid shit to me, I'm going to tell you that you said some stupid shit. Because, like, for instance, at school, I'm not that much older than everyone in there. I'm probably like middle age. I'm 24. There's people in there who are 40. Most of the people I talk to in there are probably 30 plus because they're the only people I can have a real grown conversation with. There's people my age and younger, and oh my god, dude, it's brain rot. It's brain rot to sit there and talk to them sometimes. And then there's also a couple in my school, and the chick is cool, but the boyfriend is too insecure because because there was one day she was all like, oh, you look really good. You look really fit. You should like make an Instagram, this, and this, or a TikTok, making stuff. And then, but like kind of in front of her boyfriend, we are doing a project. And then he was like, well, damn, you just compliment the guy right in front of me, this, and this. So I kind of just stay quiet because it's like, I'm not trying to start no house drama. But ever since after that, I tried to walk away from it. But yet he keeps trying to come back around and try to flex like he don't got shit going on, bro. I'm not even trying to hear start talk shit to people. What was that time? Yeah, aura. If you just have a certain demeanor and walk around a lot, you're just gonna start attracting really good things to you. Now, occasionally, you're gonna get those people who think that what you got going on isn't really all like that, or just because they're insecure. I've had, for instance, like that one dude at school. He knows 100% what I got going on. All the other kids know what I got going on, or the adults or whatever. They know it and they respect it too. But there's some people who want to challenge you on that because they're too insecure to figure out and do shit on their own. That hey, let me just pick on the dude who got the most shit going on. I never understood that. Because in my head, it's like, well, if there's someone who's quote unquote better than me at something, in my head, I'm like, well, let me talk to him. Let me sit down and figure out how do you get to that level of being what you are, as in weightlifting wise. That's the head trainers at my gym. I go over there and lift with them because they have over a decade more experience on weightlifting. So obviously I want to learn different techniques, different movements, just so that I can keep enjoying what I'm doing through working out wise. If I want to do bodybuilding, if I want to do strength training, if I want to do strongman, there's different things. I could do them all. I'm not saying I'm going to be crazy at all of it, but I can at least pick up and learn how to do different things and implement that into my life. Most people, they don't know how to learn to pick things. They take things way too literally and not figuratively. You got to listen to how the things are said and then try to apply it into your life versus making your life that. Like, I don't understand stuff like that. For instance, we can use religion. This may poke a lot of heads. I just want to see how controversial your channel is. So say like you're going to use prophets in the Bible, or you say Jesus. I mean, in my opinion, I think Jesus is a prophet, but that's a whole other topic. Not to neglect anything that any prophets have said through religion. Obviously, they were there to help show the way and the word of God. So in that sense, most people, they want to become those prophets. Like in my head, why would you want to become that prophet? That prophet gave you a lesson for you to become who you are through God's name. But most people, they don't know how to differentiate that. They just want to follow something. They want to be a sheep and copy and paste what those great people did in their lives and try to just become that person. Like people want to just become Jesus. I'm like, why would you want to become Jesus? God gave you your own body, your own free will. Learn what Jesus had going on and implement that into your life if it's going to make you better.
I think one of my biggest things about religion is I think it was a couple of days ago. I made a post on my Instagram talking about God, and somebody in my comment section was like, "Yeah, but God isn't real." Laughing emoji. Okay, I'm thinking, whatever, bro. You think whatever you want to. That's on you. I'm not even finna sit here and argue with you, bro. But even if you're not a religious person, you don't subscribe to religion, you don't care about it. One thing that I love about every religion, it could be Christianity, it could be Islam, it could be whatever religion. Every single one of these books, the main doctrine is a good book full of great life principles, and it can help you to make your life better, become a better person, give back to the world that you exist in. Oftentimes, even if you don't even believe in the religion, it's not even about the deities in the religion. If you don't want to focus on that, if you don't want to believe in that, cool, you do you. But genuinely, you can just sit down and read the Bible or read the Quran, and they're going to talk about real shit. They're going to talk about discipline. They're going to talk about giving back to the community that you live in. They're going to talk about treating others with respect. They're going to talk about being humble, working hard. These are all just genuinely good things. That's why I don't understand how people can look at religion and say that's a bad thing. To me, that just tells me that you've never done your due diligence to look into the books and actually form an opinion for yourself. A lot of people like to just hear shit or hear opinions get thrown around and they're like, I like that one. I'm going to just use that shit. No, bro. Use your brain. You have a brain up here for a reason. It has a whole lot of thinking power. Use it. Open the book. Read and form your own opinion. Go online, do some research. Hell, even just simply going out in the world and living life can give you experience that may change your opinion on certain things. Because I've heard people on the internet say things about, maybe an opinion they have, but my own personal life experience, I hear them state their opinion, and I'm like, well, I've seen differently, so I can't agree with that. So I think it would benefit a lot more people to just not be so quick to take somebody else's word for this is the truth, this is how it is. I don't care how smart they are. I don't care how intelligent you may think they are, how knowledgeable you may think they are. Not everybody's always right. I think it will benefit you a lot more to just stop putting everyone else's words so high up on the totem pole of priority and maybe put your own word a bit higher up and do your own critical thinking, form your own opinions, bro. To me, I like to listen to other people, take advice from others, hear the opinions of others, but at the end of the day, nobody's thoughts and opinions are more important to me than my own. That's just how I feel about it.
To kind of elaborate, I'll give my perspective on how like I view religion. So for me, I don't know the terminology of it, but someone who practices more than one religion, which in a sense it's like for me I'm very heavy on Christianity, or I'm very heavy on biblical, and I'm very heavy on Islam. And I get that some of the part of the stories are different on viewpoints of, I guess, your prophets or your Lord. There's your viewpoints there. But if you're looking to kind of open your mind a little bit more, for me, it's like I use both because it has two different viewpoints on teachings. And I kind of use those teachings to help guide my compass through life because they're not that vastly different. There is differences, but they're not that vastly different. And the big thing that I don't like that people do is create segregation through religion. You can't tell me, and this is what always bothers me so much. I have friends that are Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Catholic, Baptist, and we don't clash heads when we talk about stuff like this. It's just we have our own found respect because each religion has its own discipline that you go through, and you trying to implement that into your life to be a better person. In my head, if you want to be a better person, why would I knock you on that? Why would I tell you what you're doing is wrong? And I think it's most Americans that kind of think like that, because you haven't gone out to the other side of the world to really scope on, oh, wait, if I try to push what I'm believing over there, they're going to just beat me up. Like imagine you're a full-on Christian, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's good. I'm glad that you're doing something that's making your life morally better. But if you are preaching about something and you go to the other side of the world and try to preach it It's not going to work because they have something they've been doing for way longer than you've been alive. So how are you going to tell the people across the world that they're wrong? Instead, we should all kind of hype each other on, hey, the stuff that you're learning and it's making you a better person, let me learn a little bit about it too. And the stuff that's making me a better person, let's share that. Let's share information like that because most people can't comprehend that. Most people are quick to think, then like, no, this is right and you're wrong. I mean, I guess in certain circumstances, I guess you can do that, but religion's kind of one of those things that I can't tell you that. I mean, I believe that God is real. I believe that there's only one God, but also using those teachings from both different ends, I don't see it clashing, but most people do. If you're able to use your own head and kind of go through preceding life as neutral viewpoints, you have to look at both sides. Because I remember one time when I kind of told someone that I was kind of practicing Islam a little bit, that they were all like, I guess he got gun-ho about Jesus and this and that. And, I sat there and listened. I had the conversation. But then he was all like, well, what do you think about Muslims killing Christians? I was like, bro, I don't give a fuck what you're talking about now. Like, anywhere you go in the world, there's good and bad. You take away religion, in the real life world, there's good and there's bad. No matter what you're doing in life, in every circumstance, sorry. Every circumstance, there's good and there's bad. I don't give if it's religion, it could be working out. You could be abusing yourself too much and then you cripple yourself. It could be eating bad food to make you fat and unhealthy. There's good, there's bad in every single fucking thing. And most people can't comprehend that. And if you kind of view life like that, well, let me look at only the goods and everything versus, no, fuck that, that's wrong. Fuck that, that's wrong. I mean, you're never going to progress anywhere in life. Now, if you're a pedophile, yeah, fuck you, you're bad. No shit. But yeah, like if you can differentiate what things are good and bad, then I promise you're gonna excel so much faster in life, and you're gonna meet so much more like sophisticated type people who are very vast on knowledge and different aspects. If you can't think, you're never gonna learn.
Once again, the soundboard. Bro, I'm buying that shit tonight. I don't give a fuck. I'm buying that shit tonight. But I think if I'm going to summarize what you said in a very short term, I'm going to say people lack open-mindedness. That's really what it is. A lot of people are so, what I believe is true is the truth, and everything that goes against what I believe is absolutely wrong. And if you look at the individuals who honestly think like that, are their lives really a life that you would want to live yourself? Probably not. Like there was this one dude that we both used to know back in the military. We had a similar topic of conversation to this, and his immediate response was, I don't like Muslim people. They're all bad. And I'm thinking, bro, I don't even want to deal with you no more, bro. Because how can you sit here and say this entire religion is bad simply because you don't get down with it? Simply because maybe a few individuals within the religion may be doing some bad things and you just said, fuck the whole thing. That's a horrible mindset to have. Because maybe they look at you and they say the same thing about you. What if they say, oh, Christianity as a whole is bad because a few people have done some fucked up shit? That's just not a good way to go about anything. That's not a good way to look at it, man. I think a lot more people would be able to better themselves by simply having an open-minded, like, this is what I believe, this is what I think is true based off my own critical thinking and my life experience. But if somebody else could introduce me to some new information that may better me or help me, I'd be open to listen to it. The individuals that are willing to listen the most and really implement something that could make them better are always the ones that progress more in life. The individuals that are like, it's my way or the highway, I know what I'm talking about, fuck everybody else's opinion. These kinds of individuals never end up going anywhere in life. They end up living dead-ass lives. Their family hates them. Everyone else around them hates them because it's just me, my way, or the highway. And that's just not really a good way to live, man.
I got something to elaborate on that. And it could not just be it's not only just about hate too. It could also be like people aren't gonna take you serious. and it's going past that point that, like I used to say, I don't like talking to people because they're stupid. So when you have, say, a conversation like this, obviously it's okay to have disagreements to something. There's a difference between an argument and there's a difference between debate. Most people just like to argue without the debate part. So it's like, I'm having this conversation with you, but you're not able to really give me anything just because you are telling me that you don't like it. If you could give me something else besides your feeling and maybe some other input of how you're viewing it, then okay, I could sit there and listen to that. But most people are too quick to kind of like say no and say no, this is only this way. And if you're one of those people, take a step back and start telling the people around you who are still around in your life, see how they treat you. I bet you they don't take you serious enough. Like if you're one of those people that are quick to say no to everything, go to your parents and say that you're going to change something. Say that you're going to stop acting like that. Watch how their viewpoint of you are going to change. Because I bet you most of those people who say fuck you to everything else, I bet other people kind of look at you and say fuck you too. Because it's like, why would I be around someone like that? Why, even if, like, say if my kid was like that, he can't think of nothing else. I mean, it's his life, go ahead. But I'm sorry, you're not going to be around for that, you know? I'm going to try to teach him not to be like that growing up. But ultimately, people are going to do their own things. But if you're trying to get out of that habit and you don't understand why people don't like you, is because of that mentality there. That's what creates freaking segregation and not diversity in a good way. It's diversity in a bad way. You're now categorized as a fuck you type person, you know?
Man, I think in the past before, we had a third homie that he doesn't live in here. He doesn't live in Texas with us. He used to always listen to the two of us argue. And if y'all can't tell this far in the video, both of us are very opinionated individuals. Both of us are very proud of the individuals that we are. And sometimes it can be kind of like a button heads match. Not like we're actually angry at each other, but it's like I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and the other person's like, no, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I think one of the things that made us still last this long as friends is just the fact that sometimes, both of us have the ability to, kind of calm the ego down and be like, you know what, let me actually listen to what bro is talking about. I'll give you a prime example. He's more of a bodybuilder kind of lifter when it comes to working out in the gym. I'm more of a power lifter. I do a lot more strength training and stuff like that. Sometimes whenever I work out with him, he'll sit here and tell me some shit like, hey, you should be doing it like this. And I'm not gonna lie. In the moment, my pride, my ego, I'm like, I don't want nobody telling me that I'm doing this shit wrong. But then I think about it and I'm like, well, he actually knows how to train like a bodybuilder, and it shows. He knows what the fuck he's talking about, and I'm trying to train like him. So maybe I should just calm my little ego down for a second, put the emotions to the side, put the pride to the side and say, you know what? I'm going to listen to what he's talking about because he may have some valid information for me. But not everybody can do that, man. What you think about that?
I agree. There's things that I could be too prideful about, but then sometimes it's good to have the reasoning of not saying fuck you to everything and learning to calm down and try to understand where other people are coming from. Oh, damn it. I'm lost my train of thought again. Yeah, I could be wrong about a lot of things. And I have those debates not quite often, but sometimes. Like, it could be two very prideful people. And being prideful for yourself isn't a bad thing. It's learning how to differentiate that with life versus saying fuck you to everything else. If you really do know what's going on, your life will show for it. So when you have people around you that are also like that, sometimes you do clash heads just because that, they also feel like in a sense that they know what they're talking about, vice versa. Everyone kind of knows what they're talking about, but when you get into the environment of wanting to become better, and especially when someone corrects you when you're wrong, man, I'm pretty illiterate. I have my girl all the time tell me that's not how you spell this or that's not how you say that, and it bothers me. But, not trying to get flared up about it, because obviously when someone tells you you're wrong, your immediate course of action is just like, no. No, no, the fuck it's not, you know? And that's how I am sometimes. I could be very stubborn, but I can admit to that. And I try to fix that by, when I am wrong, trying to fix whatever was wrong instead of just being like, fuck you, fuck this, fuck that, you know? That's a pretty, I guess, good life skill to have for most people when knowing when you're wrong, because not everyone's perfect. Not everyone knows everything, but that's why you have a good either friend or relationship with other people that help you kind of bounce back from each other, help you reciprocate to each other, helps your auras, all your auras combine. Have you ever seen like Goku and Vegeta when they both power up, their fucking aura combines together to make one massive aura. You know, that's the type of friends and relationships you want to have in your life. You can't be stuck on nothing.
So, not to get away from what you were talking about, but literally, I was sitting here brainstorming another video topic in my head, bro. So, what I wanted to talk about, I know my opinion on this, but what do you think about trusting your gut and following your own intuition? Like, okay, I'll give you an example. I think a lot of times, a lot of people know what may be the best course of action for them, but for any various reason, people may choose to not do it. Like, let's say, for example, maybe you want to lose weight, get your diet right. You have the knowledge in your head, I need to do this, but for whatever reason, you're just not going for it. Or maybe you need to leave a relationship, but for whatever reason, you're not doing it. What do you think about like people that don't listen to themselves and kind of fight what they know they need to do to make their life better? What do you think about that?
You're stupid. Um, I mean, the first thing that I think of is like if you want to do, most of the time it's because it's hard. It's too difficult or it's too uncomfortable for someone to want to change and adapt in a different scenario. Most people, when they have things that they're not happy with, they learn to try to mask it down with other things. It's like saying you're in a relationship for 15 years that you don't like. So what do you do during that time you're miserable? Probably do drugs. Probably do a lot of different drugs, you know? Learning to mask your miserable life as long as you can to basically you die. That's called depression, buddy. That's not a life you want to live. So if you need that motivation to get the fuck off your ass to go fix what you got going on, you probably really need to do it. Stop waiting on it. I mean, not saying that I never fell victim to it. I'm only saying this because these are experiences that I had to learn too. You just gotta stop saying fuck you to everything and just be like, you know what? Let my life take a course of action and trusting your gut. I guess you can use the same example for school because like sometimes my teacher or teachers, I have a lot of different instructors. They talk about how usually the first answer you write down is correct, but sometimes you second guess a lot because you're worried about whatever the outcome is. And in hindsight, you should have just trusted your gut because obviously your gut is your own intuition. It's your person inside of you saying, "Hey, bro, like I don't know. I don't think this is right, or maybe I should be doing this." And sometimes it's a part of being selfish is listening to yourself. It's being selfish isn't always a bad thing, especially if it's for bettering your own health. But when you sit there and listen to yourself, you can really see how far you can push yourself. A lot of people undermine the abilities that they got just because of the life that they're in. If you're broke, that does suck, but it doesn't mean everything. People are given a set of cards, and some decks are pretty stacked. Some decks are, bro, you got all twos, you know? You're not going to do nothing with that. But you learn how to place them slowly. Watch how other things start to unravel. And once you start having things unravel, you could start playing bigger cards. You're going to start earning bigger cards, you know? It's all perspective. If you can't think out of that scope of life, you're never really going to go anywhere. So, yeah, going back to what you're saying, yeah, don't be stupid. Just follow yourself. Follow your gut. Follow what you believe is right first off. And if you need something to help morally get you somewhere, there's religion. There's different religions, you know. There's other disciplines like working out, things that is forcing you to be a better person. If you don't believe in anything, you don't have no cause. You're not going to ever go anywhere because you don't believe in anything. You're just walking a no man life.
Bro, this is why I like having conversations with you so much, and I understand now why they were asking to have more podcasts on my YouTube channel, because I'm sure they're used to hearing me talk about self improvement and talk about life and shit. But just to hear somebody else that I know give their opinion on it, because the way you elaborate things and the way you articulate yourself, it hits pretty hard, bro. I can't even cap. I've been telling you for the longest time, your ass need to get on social media too, cause you be spitting some shit that motherfuckers need to hear as well, bro. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to run out of phone storage on my phone, so I'm gonna have to run it up here, call it a close, call it the end of the video, man. So anything else you want to say before I end it up?
No.
All right, word. So that's the end of the video, man. That's Homie Talk episode, I think 3 it is, or is it 4?
This one's 3.
This is 3. But it's going to be long, so I'm definitely going to split it up into different little podcasts. Maybe one long-ass podcast. I don't know, man. But
All of them, do all together, then also segmented ones.
yeah. So that's the end of the video, man. Questions, comments, or concerns, y'all already know what to do, man. Leave that shit down in the comment section. Again, as usual, on every Homie Talk podcast, I'm going to have his Instagram linked in the description. Go ahead, make sure y'all click it, follow him, follow me. My Instagram will be in the corner of the video. Go get you some Bayou City Boys merch, because I am a Bayou City Boys sponsor athlete, man. And that's the end of the video, man. Y'all have a good day.